That's that Tekken Tag 2 ingenuity right there. So in Tekken 7 ranked, you could play like unregulated. The only consequence of playing unregulated is you don't get too much of any XP for like for winning against people that are like really far out of your rank. So it's like you could play unregulated, like if you just want to like play games and stuff like that. But if you play someone that's the same rank as you and you win, that's 1900. If you play someone that's a little off and you win, that's about 1200. If you play someone that's like three ranks above you or three ranks below you, that's like 500. So 1900 versus 500. Like you're looking at like 36 times XP for just staying on at your level. Now, playing unregulated really pans out more when you get above the when you get to above 75%. Once you get above like the 75%, once you start getting closer to Tekken God, you can more or less play unregulated because the thing about it is like if you let's say for example you were to play regulated at Tekken God, then you can just get D ranked like pretty fast. And and like just understanding like Tekken, it's like once you get to Tekken God, that's pretty much when you basically are once again playing unregulated, whether you know it or not. And this is because once people get to Tekken God, like some people get to Tekken God like literally over like a weekend. They'll just get to Tekken God because that's how good they are. Whereas a lot of other people, like such as myself, it could take literally a year to get Tekken God. And this is just because of the difference in skill level. Now, you may have achieved the same rank, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been playing at that level for that amount of time. So it's like when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, you get to Tekken God, you'd be like, all right, let me just go to Tekken Omega or something like that. Then when you really know you're a Tekken God, then you could go ahead and you could just be like, okay, cool, let me play regulated. But it's like once you get Tekken God, you can play unregulated. And it'll match you up with people that are, it'll more likely match you up with lower ranks because more people occupy the lower ranks than they do the higher ranks. But I'll be honest, most of my characters are very low level. But I spent a lot of time. I mean, first of all, I took on. I mean, getting into a fighting game on the back end is already hard by itself because now you have this, especially when the game especially when the game is not the latest edition. Whenever you're playing like an older game, the competition is always more difficult. One thing that makes Tekken 7 kind of unique, like comparing to other titles, is that Tekken 7 is the highest Tekken that you can play, is the newest Tekken that you can play on PlayStation 4. So a lot of people, because they don't have PlayStation 5s, they still play Tekken 7. So it kind of like softens the field a lot because you still have a lot of like people that play Tekken that'll be like more newer. So you do have more of a softer field. But for example, if you look at like Soul Calibur like 5 right now, you can try to play at like a mid level, but the way it is like you got dudes that have been playing for an exceptionally long amount of time to try to get into that game on the back end to be like green at this moment. It takes a fighting game to a whole different stratosphere because it makes it so that your basic entry point is way higher because everybody is just mad condensed. And that's just online. But anyways, for that reason, a lot of my characters are a little bit lower in the ranks, but I'm not really tripping over it. You know what I mean? I mean, I play quick match just to get them up to par, and also to learn the game. It's I spend a lot of time learning the game. But one thing about Tekken 7 that I will say is that it's considerably easier to become a Tekken god in Tekken 7 than I think probably any, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was just as easy, if not easier, in Tekken 8 than like any Tekken game I've ever played. I remember like playing ranked in Tekken 6, you can forget about it. I mean, first of all, the netcode was just kind of like wild, so that was it. I caught the back end of that game anyway, but then, for example, like Tekken Tag. Now, here's the thing about Tekken Tag. I was a Jabronie in Tekken Tag. I was not that good in Tekken Tag relative to like how I play now. I was just a regular Jabronie. But in Tekken Tag, most people, like most people, could not get past Brawler in Tekken Tag, and Brawler is like the fourth rank. But to be fair, Tekken Tag is the most complex Tekken in the world, and to be honest, I can't wait to be able to play that again. Like I'm really looking forward to playing Tekken Tag again because it's such a pure Tekken. But yeah, in this one, my guys are a little lower. And so when I play ranked, I kind of play regulated. This guy has some good coins. I don't know. He has some good coins, and he's playing a whack ass character. So. Yo. Damn, yo, my combos are really off right now. Damn, I should have took him to the wall. Wow. All right. What the fuck is going on with this? The thing about it is, I don't even know the character at all. I just realized I could jab him out of the air. Oh, man. I think he was really scared to lose. It's kind of interesting because, like, you know, I somewhat want to play Akuma. The only thing about it is I've never seen an Akuma player that I really respect. And I think some of it may have to do with the fact that the character comes from a 2D fighting game, so the fighting style is kind of archaic. So maybe it just doesn't seem aesthetic to me. But contrary to, you know, to that, it's almost like I want to play the character because the character is 2D. Because at least I feel like if I play him, then I'll be better at Street Fighter. But why do I feel like this is just a counter pick? Dang. Now, one thing that I'm kind of doing right now is I'm actually writing Street Fighter. And see, man, see, this is something I don't want to really talk about. One thing I'm doing right now, though, is I'm actually writing Street Fighter. Behind the scenes, I'm writing Street Fighter. So it's like I want to play Akuma, but it's almost like I gotta play Street Fighter. Like I know for a fact I gotta play Street Fighter before I can really like take the writing where the writing where it needs to go. I need to actually play Street Fighter. And see, this is one thing. One thing that I do is I concept write. So I just know at this point I need to kind of more or less play Street Fighter, but I'm also kind of thinking like if I play Akuma in Tekken, then maybe it'll make me better at Street Fighter or something like that. The only thing about Street Fighter is the inputs in Street Fighter are like really easy, but the inputs in Street Fighter are almost it's like they're not strict, but they're strict at the same time. Like they're like the easiest inputs in the world. But it's like if you put them in too early or something like that, they don't register. And I'm not sure if it's as simple, if it's because whenever I've ever tried to play like a 2D fighter, like whenever I try to play like King of Fighters or even Street Fighter, I just realized that like some of the inputs, I kind of feel like I get kind of locked out of them for some reason. And I'm not sure if what I think it might have to do with is the fact that my screen kind of lags behind, so I'm thinking that maybe like my timing is off or something. But it just for some reason whenever I play 2D fighters or whenever I've attempted to play them in the past, I've always had this like weird input issue, and it's always just kind of like made me not want to play them even more than I normally wouldn't want to play them. But just my analysis of the character Akuma, the the only thing is like footsies and stuff like that. In a 3D fighter, I just can't really. I'm not really sure if like crouch punching and the footsies really translates well in on a 3D platform, like in or if you know what I mean, like crouch punching and the footsies, like it what it really like for that to be something that happens in Tekken, it's just not it's not really something that happens in Tekken with the regular characters. Like for example, if I sit here and I go like this into this, that right there is like 30 frames. Whatever. This is +6 and this is 21. But you know, even though it's basically a 16 frame gap, it's not like airtight like it is with characters like Akuma. You can sit there and block a crouch punch with Akuma, and then he'll sit there and do that footsie at like 11 frames, some wild pace like that. And it's just kind of disorienting in Tekken because it's not particularly like it's not generic at all. Like it kind of like bypasses like Tekken generic laws, which in effect really make the characters more compatible with Virtual Fighter, because that's something that happens in Virtual Fighter. Them fools, they crouch punch. They'll hit you with a triple crouch punch if you get too close. But Tekken more so favors standing up. And see, this is the one difference. This is the big difference between like a 2D fighter and a 3D fighter. such as Tekken, where it's like in 2D fighting, you have the air, you have neutral, which is just you standing and moving left and right, and then you have crouch. And those are like three different levels of fighting. In a 3D fighter, you have crouch, you have standing, you have up, you have left, you have right. You know what I mean? Like, and you have from standing, you have forward and backwards. So it's just more open space. So it's like in a 2D fighter, yeah, crouch punching translates, but like in a 3D fighter, it feels out of place. And you know, speaking of out of place, this dude from my assumption that he's just quitting out right now, it just seems like, if I could guess, he probably is a Street Fighter player or something like that. Or he might just be some sort of Jabronie or something, because it seems to me that he's just like really putting a little bit too much in the ranked. Like if he's avoiding fighting me, if he's avoiding fighting me at Revered Ruler, I mean, I get it. You know, things probably didn't go well for him in the last one. But if he's like that concerned about losing, like at this stage of the game, like he has no idea what is ahead of him. I can't say that my Marduk is like weak. I mean, Marduk is one of my strongest. It's like one of my strongest characters. Like, Marduk and Jack are pretty, for me, in Tekken are about equal. Most people associate me with Jack just because I played him tremendously more than I played Marduk. But Marduk was the third character I decided to play in Tekken, and he's really one of my strongest characters. The one thing about Tekken 7 with Marduk, though, is I haven't been able to get used to the counter picks with him. He has a couple of like really interesting counter picks that can be really difficult to deal with. Oh man. Another thing about Marduk 2 in this game is I haven't really had too many issues winning with him. I haven't really put him on the front. I haven't put him on the front line because I'm like 100% a king player. And he hasn't really gotten, he's not really, I haven't put him on the front line because he hasn't achieved the same strength that I have with King. But I also haven't put him on the front line because a lot of these jabronis, they memorize stuff, and what they'll do is if you play like too much in quick match, they'll really like study your game and they'll mimic it, and then before you know it, like everyone in the world like is just so ready to play against that character. And I just feel like I might as well save all my little, trying hard and stuff like that for when I can't really win in ranked. This fool is probably not gonna play me. My guy has a 30th anniversary Tekken, and he's not gonna play. See, and this is the thing. There's no point in me playing Marduk in quick match because all I'll do is I'll win a whole bunch of games and I'll just be like, what's the point in me playing quick match? See, the thing about Fang too is I kind of don't. Fang is for me. I play Fang just to simply watch my opponents and just see what they're doing because everything I do with Fang, I mean, it's just like you just moving around with Fang, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and like a lot of it works, a lot of it hits people, and it just takes forever to get people out of there. He's a really good character. I just and I can play him, really well. I could probably get him. I could definitely get Fang the Tekken God. It's just it's just beating people up with Fang, man. It just takes so much energy. I just don't really feel like doing that much kung fu. Now, if I was playing Virtual Fighter, then I'll play Lei Fei all day. If Fang was in Virtual Fighter, I'll play Fang all day. But in Tekken, he's just not. He just requires a lot of kung fu. I just don't feel like doing all that. I'm not a kung fu guy. I play Leo, but Leo, I play Leo and I play Lydia, but and Lydia does karate, but Leo is really like powerful and stuff like that. And my guy has defense. All right. Yo, this is so crazy. Why can't I get up? Mm-mm-mm. And see, that's what I'm talking about. These fools will literally memorize stuff. Because I know for a fact this man is not reacting to that. He just knows for a fact that I'm likely to do that. Yo. Or you know what? He might just be duck. He might just be the type of person to duck a lot. Yo, my man got his parries down. Oh my goodness. Yo, this is whack. Oh my goodness. That's another character I don't know anything about. So I mean, when am I gonna actually just play regular Tekken? I mean, damn. And the thing about a character like that, like Negan, I mean, I don't know. If this is Mortal Kombat, I would be more inclined to play Negan. But just to play such a brutal character in a game like Tekken, when like nobody has like weapons that like crack people's heads and stuff like that. All these stupid ass DLC characters. See, that's the reason why I don't play Marduk in Quick Match, because these fools will literally memorize this stuff. And one thing too about Quick Match players is Quick Match players are big time jabronis. Like, whenever you see streams like during stuff like Evo and stuff like that, and people be in the streams just talking crazy, like, look at this is another fucking counterpick. When dudes be in the streams and they be like sitting there typing all crazy and stuff like that, and you just be seeing the chat just like flying, those are jabronis. These are them. And these jabronis, they be in deep ass parties. They be watching each other all day, doing that motherfucking, what is it called, stream monster bullshit. Yo, I don't even like this stage. Alright, I got this. Look at this fucking bullshit. And this is what they do, this little weak ass fucking game where I gotta sit here and deal with these. Oh my god, look at this. Can't open up with this bullshit. Oh my god. I'm just not playing this dude because I don't feel like playing that stage over again. I genuinely hate those stages, like only because they get played non-stop. These fools always want to sit here and play this damn Devil's Pit, and then they want to play this damn lava stage all freaking day, and all those stages do is cause lag. Then they want to try to match me up with some freaking Tekken god. Like, come on, like, let me just play Tekken. And this is one thing that you may not know about Tekken, at least on PlayStation, is that I can tell you for certain that it's moderated. Like, there are people that these people have hired to literally sit here and watch the matchmaking. And the reason I can say that is because every time I sit here and play this game, like a lot of these matches, like if I play Bob, all of a sudden I'm going to see like counter picks for Bob. If I play King, all of a sudden I see counter picks for King. It's like, in order for me to even see certain characters in this game, I gotta play certain characters. I'll never see Heihachi if I were to play King, for example. And even like this little bullshit right here, like playing against this dude, I already know what's going on. The problem is my spacing. So what they'll do is they'll sit here and play these stupid ass long range dumb ass characters. And this is all this is. And they be playing straight off of downloads. Come on with this. Oh my goodness. Yo, stop playing. Yo, this fool literally interrupted Wild Rising 2-1. And this is another thing about these dudes, man. Like, look at the way they play with the DLC characters. That's all they want to do is sit in your face and play offense all fucking day. This man interrupted Wild Rising 2-1 with a down 4-2. And then he quit out after winning one fight. This is one thing about playing online too. Is like whenever you play online, a lot of the battle, like when it comes to like dealing with the whatever, is just you just gotta like most players, their game is pretty basic. And so what they do is they just look for like little strings that are like really easy to like pressure with and stuff like that, and you find yourself in a lot of situations where you have to figure stuff out, like figure out little gimmicks. Like the thing, Claudio doesn't make any sense. Why does this man have a straight like Satan on his back? Yo, what is this man over here doing, man? Why does he have Satan on his back? I mean, he's not even like an evil character. Dang. This man has straight Satan on his back, and he's just a regular dude. Nothing about his play style is brutal at all. I mean, if anything, you might as well put Satan on freaking Negan's back. I don't understand. They got this man. His man's name is Claudio. I'm just not understanding. And one thing that was hilarious about that fight is halfway through the fight, all of a sudden, this man's hit the lag switch. I'm thinking to myself, what is this man lagging for? What is gonna really happen for this man? I'm gonna do this man dirty just for the simple fact of how crazy that man did me before. And see, this is what I'm talking about with this counter picking bullshit. I mean, I'll be to be fair, I do see Negan like regardless of who I play, like I'll see him like pop up, you know what I mean? But this is like the third time I'm playing this fool. But see, the thing about Negan versus Bob is Negan can really cancel out a lot of Bob's poking with this little stupid ass pressure with these little dumb ass strings. With these dumb ass strings. And this bullshit right here. Hold on. To be honest though, Negan is he's like my third favorite character in The Walking Dead. my favorite character. What the fuck is going on? Hold on. What I need to do is I need to rank the Walking Dead characters. And just for clarity, I'm an original Walking Dead fan. Like I was watching The Walking Dead before people even knew, but before The Walking Dead was like super popular. And to be honest, I don't even know where it's at right now. I was watching The Walking Dead when it was an AMC classic for real. I remember I was watching The Walking Dead and I was like, why is this on the AMC network? But my favorite character in The Walking Dead is and this is really when I kind of stopped watching it. But my favorite character in The Walking Dead is I believe his name is Carl. He's the son of the main character. So I like Carl. Carl's number one. My number two favorite character on The Walking Dead, and this used to be my number one for the longest, but it's actually Shane. And the reason why I like Shane so much in The Walking Dead is because it's funny. His character, his storyline was really short lived. he actually ended up becoming like a bad guy that like nobody liked and stuff like that. Like, and then he became like a zombie or something like that, and they had to like get rid of him. But my favorite part about Shane was the simple fact of when The Walking Dead first started, he was like the most logical thinking dude of everybody. He was like, F all this, we're doing this, we're shutting this down, we're not doing that. And then in like his mind state, what I felt like was right on given the circumstances, like the apocalyptic circumstances. So then there's Shane. Now here's one thing: a lot of people are really fans of Daryl, but here's the thing: Daryl, he's just a little bit. He's just too cool all the way around. Like Daryl has been cool in The Walking Dead since the beginning of The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? So like as far as Daryl goes, Daryl is just Daryl. But then my next favorite character is Maggie. So here's the thing. So there's two characters that I like equally. I like Maggie and I also like Carol equally. So Maggie and Carol are pretty much equal. And then after Maggie and Carol comes Negan. And the reason I like Negan is for the same reason I like Shane. Because Negan and Shane had like the same sort of mentality. They just kind of knew that it was they more or less adapted to the circumstances. And my favorite thing about Negan too is like even though Negan was like mad like crucial and stuff like that, if you really think about it, Negan was just doing the best he could. And if you actually really consider it, Negan actually did everything that the main characters of The Walking Dead did. He established a functional society for whatever it's worth. He actually established a functional society and like a strong order society. And the group in The Walking Dead, they came in and they violated Negan. Negan, that was Negan's area. That was Negan's place. They went in, they did all that wild stuff, playing around with Negan. So I like Negan. And I wasn't really disappointed. I heard that see when Carl got somewhat infected, I really couldn't watch The Walking Dead anymore. It reminded me of Game of Thrones. Because my favorite character in Game of Thrones is that little girl. And the little girl and the midget. And when the midget almost died in the Game of Thrones and the little girl was just kind of like lost and like she looked like she didn't have a chance. Wow, this man, he punished that properly. Yo, the Julia Mafia is so mad. Yo, the Julia Mafia is so mad at me because because I beat up one of their players. And I took a screenshot. So these fools have been out here trying to they've been trying to orchestrate a hit on me for like the longest time. Like the past 3 days. They've been orchestrating this little Julia hit on me. Yo, this man. Dang, I was lazy. It's because I'm talking. But yeah, I like the little girl. But here's the thing: the thing about the Julia Mafia is they want me. I know for a fact they want me to play Julia. It's just Julia is she's like a totally unique archetype in Tekken, and she's similar, kind of like similar to like Steve. It's like I can't exactly play a character that will translate into Julia, so I'm kind of like dreading dealing with the learning curve. But I like the character. I like the character so much, I might be nice to my guy Dancer. Hold on. Yo, these dudes, they're really tearing my Bob up today. Damn. What the fuck is going on? But yeah, Game of Thrones, they just kill so many of my characters. I'm like, dang, like how you kill? I had to stop. I couldn't take it. And then when the little girl and when the midget, when the when the midget, yo, this man. Hold on, man. You know, I wish fighting games could be more casual, where I could just. I wish I could just be a fighting game jabroni, to be honest. The only thing about fighting games is as soon as you get into jabroni land, like they're gonna start making fun of you and stuff like that, and you got to be able to win. I'm getting my ass whooped today. Yo, this man got the technology. Wow, he earned that. He earned that. You know what? Hold on. Yeah, this stream is about to be over. I'm gonna be honest. I got on here and I started talking. Yo, how does this man see everything? What is going on? And this man, but then again, at the same time, his prowess is not that high. Yo, Julie has a really strong fucking crouch game. Oh my god. Yo, my guy TK is feeling himself. My guy TK is feeling himself today. He said he got 10 wins. Shit. Yo. Yo, my guy TK is punishing too. Yo, my Bob is getting it today. What the fuck is going on? But to be honest, this is why I play Bob, because with Bob, you have to do everything. You have to punish, you gotta juggle, you gotta use variety and consistency, you gotta space. I mean, unless you want to play him like really tournament, like Tekken 6. Wow. Look at the damage. Yo, this man closed that gap. Damn. Alright. This man. Yo, TK is serious today. This man said he getting these wins today. Yo, my guy TK is winning today. But see, this is the thing about fighting games. You can't really let people win, because once they get a taste of that victory, they could come back on a whole new level. Oh, my guy TK doesn't want me to stop streaming. But you know what I'm about to do? I'm actually gonna. What I'm gonna do is. Hang on, Skippy. What I'm gonna do is. Yo, how is Leo Tekken God Prime with 65 wins? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk my little shit, and I'm just gonna play the computer. Because to be honest, if you really want to be, if you want to be a jabroni and you want to really live a comfortable life, you gotta play against the computer as a jabroni. Because the computer is the best thing to play when you're like talking to people and stuff like that. I'll get Marduk up. That's what fame feels like. Yo, who did I just? Yo, my guy was winning today. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even really want to take. I really didn't want to end his streak like that, but the stream must go on. All right. So basically, how do you play the computer? Because I'm not even really playing the computer correctly. But what you want to do with the computer is what you want to do with the computer is you want to really just really tighten your game up, and you want to really be more critical of like your decision making and the things you do. Because with the computer, it's not really a matter of winning as much as it's a matter of like learning how to play. Because the computer is not going to do any crazy combos on you, so the computer is already at like at a real disadvantage. So you're not really concerned about winning unless you struggle to win. So like what? So you basically just whenever you're playing against the computer, really what you want to do against the computer, I'm gonna be honest, is you just want to be able to get perfects against the computer. See? And then the next thing you want to do against the computer is you want to wow. See, and I messed that up. So you want to get perfects against the computer, and you also want to you want to just basically analyze like the way that you win, and then you want to basically improve it. And one way that you could kind of like one measure of your ability is you can look at tournament gameplay, and you can just take note of like how consistent they are at doing certain things. Like, so for example, if you see someone like someone that everyone knows, like for example, this man will sit out here and do this little electric, you know. These are things that you want to kind of improve when you're playing against a computer. You know, if you could do like a triple electric. And so with every character, there's different things. Like with Murdoch, it's really wall carry, and this is called what is it called? I keep missing the name. I think it's called like Toledo or something. I don't even know why. I always forget the name of this. Valito or something. It's that. It's basically called something Valito cancel or something like that. You want to be able to do that. Hold on. I can't afford a copyright. So yeah, the computer will do stuff like that. Look at this. Another thing you want to work on with the computer is you want to pay attention to like escaping. You know, you want to pay attention to like grab breaking, balcony breaks. And so you just look for, like, that was bad. Not really bad, but you just look for areas where you're just not that strong. Unfortunately, on Tekken 7, a lot of the game modes are really sparse. So you only have arcade mode and time it and treasure battle. And so you just want to basically just like pay attention to the game mode and just, you know, use them for what they are. In Tekken 7, because arcade mode is the way it is, you know, maximizing it with 5 rounds is ideal for like really working on like refining your game and stuff like that. And so purely, you know, like purely speaking, in regards to fighting games, you really are supposed to just play arcade mode until you actually get good at the game. It's just what's happened over time is like a lot of people. I mean, playing against real people is more fun, but the only problem is because most people don't actually play against the arcade. This is the reason why a lot of times their games will be so simple and one-dimensional, and while they'll rely so much on like little simple gimmicks and stuff like that that are really hard to that can be really difficult to deal with, especially if you don't have familiarity with a character. See, look at this. This man is really doing this. And so yeah, playing against a computer, you kind of learn. Wow. You learn more. You develop really good situational awareness as well. Just the important thing about playing against the computer is you just got to make sure that you really try. And setting different milestones for yourself is a real effective way to get better. One thing about playing against a computer is like versus playing against people is you can get really good playing against people in a shorter period of time. But you can get just as good playing against a computer. It's just, it takes a lot more time. But the trade-off is that playing against a computer is a lot easier and it's more relaxing. Way more relaxing than playing against people. These fools is out here sending hate mail. These fools is out here doing the most just wild stuff. And see that right there, that's another good thing about the computer. You can like learn how to punish stuff. What's really missing from nowadays when it comes to fighting games is the spirit. It really isn't there, because a lot of people that play these games nowadays, they just, I don't like, they play them because they realize that maybe they can achieve some type of fame playing them. Or typically what'll happen is they'll follow like gamers and stuff, and they'll have more of a gaming perspective to fighting games, and it's just not translate. It doesn't translate well in reality. Like there are a lot of gamers that are really good at like playing games, and for that reason they can get really good at playing Tekken, but deep down inside they really don't have any business playing fighting games because it's just really not in them. They just like to beat people. And if your objective is really to beat people, fighting games can be really fulfilling. But as a consequence of this, I mean, as time has gone on, I mean, fighting games have become extremely popular, especially with things like Evil and stuff like that. And it's almost as well as them being easier to play, they become even more. They become a little bit more gamey. Like Tekken Tag and like Tekken 6. Wow, how did that not connect? You know, another problem with playing against people is it can be very difficult to get through a command list because you only have so many mistakes you can make against a real person. If a real person is not gonna sit there and let you do this, for example, and then keep dropping the juggle like that. Like, what is going on? All right, there we go. And it's wild because that's the way I play Tekken Tag. I really just constantly play people all the time with the mindset that fighting games were what they used to be. And all that does, like if you're gonna really be a jabroni, all that really does is they'll just take advantage of you. They'll sit here, they'll learn exactly how to beat you. They will never help you in terms of like telling you what's going on. And they'll just be happy beating you. Yo. Wow, saying you learn stuff like that. There we go. And one thing about like understanding these skills is you don't realize how important they are until you play in a tournament and then you see these people doing all this stuff and they have really strong consistency and you'll be like, damn, like I really need to like try harder. And the thing about it is playing against people online, you'll never be able to determine that. You'll never be able to make that assessment because a lot of them, like a couple of people that I played today, it's like they're sitting here just trying to do offensive things and they're not necessarily playing like well. And what they'll do is they'll be playing with they'll be playing with they'll be trying to will themselves through. So and they'll use all their will and all their might in like being really hard headed in trying to force their offense on you. And the thing about it is like if you actually understand a character, and one thing you'll realize too is like once you get past their little gimmick, or like if you understand a character and you cut it short, they won't even want to play. They'll just go to the next person and do that. And so beating a whole bunch of people like that, you can get the impression that you're good. The thing about it is nobody at a tournament, or better yet, nobody, for the most part, like when a game first comes out, like tournaments will have a lot more jabronis at them. But like when you really get down to like actually being able to like be a variable at a tournament, you'll realize that like the people that are actual variables, they don't fall short of anything. And so it used to be all you had to do was really just play, like especially like online. You could sit there and play online, and you would get really good. But that was because the player base, everyone, especially like relative to now, was really into fighting games. So you just got a way more condensed player base to where it was like, let's say for example, you do something punishable, everybody would punish it. I mean, just ideally speaking. Whereas like nowadays, you do something to these people. Nowadays, you do something to these people, they don't even know what's going on. Like literally 20% of the time, and I'll be honest, they don't know what's going on 60% of the time. And this is the reason why I just play ranked, because what they'll do is what I is they'll compensate for like their lack of wisdom by basically just like looking at replay data and like trying to figure out like little small loops in your game and like try to like interrupt them with different counters. Or what they'll do is they'll counterpick characters to where it'll favor their playstyle. So if they want to sit there and press you out, they'll look for a character that they can just sit there and just swing on you all day with. That they're only able to beat you with it when you don't really understand what's happening. So anyways, that game was horrible. That playthrough was horrible. But that's basically what you do. You just basically play through like that until you can kind of really feel good about what you're doing. And then once you feel good about what you're doing, you take it even further. And you just keep, and before you know it, you'll have a really good airtight gameplay. And once you get really airtight, you're able to really apply versatility. You're able to do a lot more, and you're able to play a lot stronger. Your defense, you're able to put more energy into defense. And once you get to that point, that's when you're really playing. And this is the good thing. That's the good thing about the computer. Is like a regular person, they'll sit there, they'll quit out, and what you'll find is that you'll spend a lot of time just waiting for a fight. I remember when I used to play Fight Night, I really ultimately stopped playing because they kept patching the game so that people could win. And then on top of that, they kept cheating me out of wins by like lagging me out of wins. It was crazy. And then on top of that, I used to spend like literally an hour and a half some days just sitting here trying to get someone to play against because everybody would just quit. And this is the one good thing about playing against the computer is like you can play frequently. Dang. This is my last piece on the computer before I kind of get off. This topic is playing against the computer. One of the best aspects of it is the fact of the speed of play. You're playing the game at its proper speed. Where it's like when you play online, every game has a different pace. That's typically slower. But what playing against the computer will do and playing at the computer paces will do is it will teach you the proper input timing, which will make it easier for you to stay consistent playing under lag. One big unfortunate thing though about this Tekken is like the offline modes are so bad. Like they're so minimal. Wow. Alright, well, hold on. Wow. That's another thing you learn too. Like you learn certain traps. The only thing about the computer is the computer won't really necessarily like test the trap as well as a regular person. Dang. I gotta figure out something better to do with that. I mean, I really know what to do. It's just I want to see if I have some other options besides just sitting here doing ISW on the wall. Wow, I was sure that man was going to be done off that.
Round 6. Fight.
Oh, and the last thing about arcade mode is you can familiarize yourself with different. I already said this before, but you can. Man, that man went under the homing move. Yo, that man was not gonna get hit with that.
Round 7. Fight.
But yeah, I'm done. I honestly, for whatever reason, I can't pay attention. It's wild because if I go to the gym or like if I exercise and I like really like focus on like a lot of things throughout the day, like for me to play Tekken, it's almost like I'm like falling asleep at the same time. I can't really, I can't like in order to really play Tekken, like you gotta kind of like have more of a clean slate so you can really like invest a lot more of your energy into it. Otherwise, it can just be kind of dizzying, especially when you don't have the right frame rate, like I'm what I'm dealing with right now. And I just think it's kind of wild that there was actually once a time when I used to like play like this all the time, and I used to like try so hard. And it's just wild because at that time I had no idea what it would have been like to have had like full energy and to have really been able to focus on like playing. I think I kind of partially assumed that like everyone kind of had the same situation going into it, but in reality, nobody did. Like there would be times when I go to school, I go to school, I go to work, and then I remember I just come back to try to play video games, and I'd be have so much lag on my screen, and I didn't even know I had so much lag on my screen. And it's like when I sit right here and I just like compare the difference in ability, it really makes sense to me as to why I wasn't really able to do as much as I plan to do. And why I struggled to win the way I did. And this is the reason why I could never really. I mean, at the time, I didn't think anything of it, but it's just wild because when you play these games, these people really think that they're better than you because they can beat you at a video game a lot of the times. And I mean, it's just like just me understanding this just having just from like not being a complete idiot. It's for this reason that I could never like beat someone in a fighting game and then like try to carry it to the where like I'm supposed to be somebody or something like that. In relative to them, because at the end of the day, you don't really know what people are doing. I mean, these people are jabronis. Don't get me wrong; they are some jabronis. But at the end of the day, if they want to be jabronis, I mean, like I said, it's a cool life. I mean, you can sit there, you could be real casual and stuff like that. It's kind of unfortunate that in reality, in a fighting game, there really is no such thing. You can't really be casual in fighting games, unfortunately. But it's just kind of wild because I remember I used to play. They used to really carry it like because you're not good at this game, you're nobody out here. And I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like if for someone to have that perspective, they're not particularly a person I would care for at all anyway. But it just blew my mind at like how big of losers they really were relative to like the way that I'm able to understand things. It's like for me to be someone in the game, like just knowing, just the fact that I never really had time to know life it. Like a lot of those people, man, like they be some hard no lifers when it comes to this stuff. A lot of them are from the golden era, so they had people that they could play with, which really makes a huge difference. And they just used to be so like, just shitty all the time, just like shitty and like bogarting all the time. Like they would never like you sit here, you try to play with these people. These people done sat here and plotted out a whole strategy against you before you even showed up. You know what I mean? You over here like, and just it's the same thing that they do with this whole online thing. They only want to play you if they can win. They all premeditated. You know what I'm saying? And it's wild because just like these people be out here, they be like some Tekken gods and stuff like that. These fools be up here. This one dude was over here. This man had 10,000 wins. This man had 10,000 wins. That means that he had 100 wins. He had 100 wins. And this man is dead ass playing this. And like you match up against these fools. And these be the only dudes that's what it takes for these people to really fight you. They got 100 wins. And these be the same people over here talking this crazy stuff like they're supposed to be better than somebody because they able to beat them. Let me go ahead and play somebody on this thing right now that has the same amount of wins as me, and I'll trash them. And in fact, the only time I don't trash them is when they have some type of ghost account and in real life they got 100 wins. And the thing about it is these fools know this. But the way that they carry it, now you see why they quit like they quit. They don't even want to play, and this is the reality of the situation. These people are not fighters. They are some video game players. And this is one thing you got to be real careful of when you're playing. This is also another reason why it's just like playing online nowadays. It's just the golden era is gone. And it's unfortunate because the people that are left, like the people that like still like really be like playing like all hard and stuff, the people that were around from that era, the ones that are like at the top now, those were the people that were like trash back then. And the thing about it is back then they had every tool available to them to where they could really play. As a matter of fact, they were playing Tekken so, first of all, Tekken itself was harder to play in general. But they were playing Tekken so hard, these fools is over here doing 3 moves the whole tournament, and they over here getting through a whole tournament just on raw defense. That's how crazy the game got at one point. And that's the reason why Nia is the way he is, in terms of the way he plays and stuff. And the reason why he's able to win the way he is. These fools sat there and they collectively worked together and figured out the game down to they done reduce these characters down to 3 moves half the time. Like you should really see the Bob tournament games. like the Bob Evo and everything like that. So that's not thing. These fools is playing Bob doing back two. Down 4-1. 1-1. Down 4-2. Up 4-3. That's it. And then they do punishers. That's all. And then they do hell sweep. But really, they just do back one. They do back two. Who's the dumbest looking thing? And so this is the reason why the game is the way it is. Because these fools ain't passed down nothing. They set up in there, you know, and as the game rose in popularity, they got high off of the simple fact that people was like, you know, looking up to them and stuff like that. They ain't never had that before. Because before they was just some no lifers. And they really let it fly to the point where these people really they let these people get confidence treating people like shit, knowing damn well that they had 100 games, and they let these people derive confidence treating people like shit, when what they should have been doing was they should have been putting the effort in tearing down the people that was treating people like shit. Instead, they over here, they right behind it. They over here talking about some get good. Like they ain't really sit there and win 100 games. Not play 100 games. They won 100 games. Here you are, you done sat here and played for literally all of 6 months. You just learned one character, and these fools over talking about some get good, and they over here going out of their way trying to, you know what I mean, trying to put you down and stuff like that, because you're not on the same skill tier as them. Like they supposed to be somebody. This thing looks horrible. And so this is the reason why nowadays you don't have the fighting spirit is gone. I'm gonna just put it out there, it's gone. You got a whole bunch of gamers that play this now, and what they've done to even to come what they've done to condense that is they sat here and they made the game even more like gamer friendly. So it's not even really fight oriented like it as much as it used to be, to where it was. I remember at one point, if you try to get off the floor reckless, you have a hard time. They done sat there and they done rounded off all the edges of all that type of stuff. And you know, to one extent, there's so many characters in the game, you know, it's not a bad thing. It helps out in a lot of ways, but it's just like without the spirit, it's just like these fools is over here. This is the reason why they play this way. I'm over here wasting my time doing this stuff with, you know what I mean, playing, just sitting over here creating. I'm just sitting there using this as a something to talk over. Just make a quick alternate real quick. This is vacation thing right here. This is vacation father thing right here. This is basically thing when he goes to the casino because he has a small gambling problem, but he goes to the casino and he loses all his money on blackjack and roulette. This is what he dresses like when he goes to the casino. But yeah, in conclusion, you know what I mean. It's just, playing against the computer is basically where it's at right now. And until the right people are able to achieve, you know, success in the right ways, that's pretty much the way it's gonna stand. But I'll say if they keep simplifying the game and dumbing it down, it'll be over. But it'll be over before it can ever get better. That's for sure. Because these fools is out here basically trying to make this into a second revolution, and ain't nobody got time for that, man. So yeah, that's it for this one.